Hi, today I'm going to do an eyebrow tutorial. You guys may already know who I am. I'm Bert from Sesame Street. These type of eyebrows have been out for a while now, and they're really bothering me. They're a little too strong, they're a little too square, and they're a little bit too not natural. I've tried them all. I've had these eyebrows, I've had the short ones that start over here. How about these? Do these look good? These are called the sperm eyebrows. Okay? They're perfectly round in the front. Okay, and they're squiggly in the back. Like baby tadpole thingies. This is not cute. This is not cute. Okay? First of all, the thing that usually makes these eyebrows is like a product like this. Like a creamy eye pencil. These are not good for eyebrows. They're not for eyebrows. They're too creamy. They're too pigmented. So if you're gonna get an eyebrow pencil, you want it to be very thin and kind of waxy. A great eyebrow pencil is by Anastasia Beverly Hills, or Anastasia, however you want to say. You can find them at Ulta, Sephora, or online. They're great. They're like a waxy texture, and there's so many colors. So many colors. And you can really draw on the hairs. You can fill in. I made all my mistakes already. I've plugged them to death. And now that the full brow is in, which I'm very happy about that. People are rocking really natural eyebrows. That's great when they're natural. When you're trying to create a shape that is not like your own natural shape, it can look very odd. So we're going to talk about shape, and we're going to talk about what to use to get the best result. Some people like a pen, to use an eyebrow pen. Some people like to use powder products. Some people like to use a pencil. There's nothing wrong with any of those products. You just want to kind of play around until you find what is best for you. I like them all. I like to use all of them. But my favorite way to do it is by using a powder eyeshadow. Okay, so now that I took those crazy eyebrows off, this is the natural hair that I'm working with. And as you can see, I do have some hair, but I totally mutilated my eyebrows when I was in high school. So this is the only hair that's back. So what I want to do is kind of just recreate the eyebrows that I used to have without going too crazy and painting them on, because my eyebrows used to be very thick. So I can't make them as thick as they used to be without them looking too fake, but I'll try to get them as thick as I can, as long as they still look semi-natural, you know. So I kind of just refer back to old pictures, because that shape that I was born with is the shape that is going to suit my eye the best. Some eyebrows go out and they don't really have much of an arch. You don't have to have a high arch. And I think that everybody's kind of after, a lot of people, I'm not going to say everybody, a lot of people are after that super high arch eyebrow. But if you don't have that naturally, it can look very odd, and you can look very like witch villainy looking, like Cruella de Vil, or whatever, that lady from Snow White. Like all of the villains from those movies, I never noticed it until Goss makeup artist said this, always have those super thin and super arched eyebrows. So it can actually make us look a little bit older, and we don't want that. A full brow definitely looks more youthful, so that's what we're going for. And I'll be using my Nude palette, which is no surprise to anybody that's seen my videos, and I'm using the powder shadow in Sleek. It is a matte dark brown, cool tone brown, which is perfect to fill in my brows. Although I have like really dark, almost black hair, I'm not going to use black, because most people's eyebrows are never a black color. Even if they have very dark hair, it'll be more like an ash brown, maybe an ash dark brown color. So that's what we're going to use. And I'm just going to use a angled brush. It's kind of stiff. You don't want it to be too thin and too wiggly. You want it to have a little bit of stiffness to it if you're using a powder product. And I just got this from Crown Brush. And I'm going to dampen the brush just a little bit to start outlining. I'm going to dip it into the Sleek. Take some off, a little bit off, because my brush was actually more than damp. Take a little off on the back of my hand, just to see how much I have. And then I always start at the center, towards the center, and then back. Okay? You don't want to start at the beginning of the eyebrow, because you don't want the most intense color to be at the beginning. You kind of want it to fade into nothing, the beginning of the brow. Usually a lot of the bulk of the hair is towards the center and the end. So we want to mimic that when we're filling in. We don't want to add a whole bunch of hair right in the front. That's what can make it look a little too strong. So I'm just going, you see I have a really big gap from, there's hair here, then a huge gap, and then there's hair again. So I'm going to put a straight line there to kind of connect the two. So from there I'm going to go straight across. And the key here, I'm going to go back in, the key here is to use small, really light strokes. I'm not really pressing very hard, okay? And just take your time, no hard lines. Really small, short strokes, okay? I'm just getting that shape right now. Kind of outline it first. Okay. All right, so I have that bottom part, and now I'm going to fill in the top. You see how hair just kind of disappears right there and it goes back up? So I'm going to go from this part of my brow, which is the highest point, to this part of my brow, okay? And just fill in that gap right there. Short strokes. The hair goes down right here for me, so I kind of go this way and then I go down, okay? You want to go in the direction that your hair is going. And then right here I have a little bit, so I'm going to fill in with that, with whatever's kind of left over on the brush. Okay. Just fill in a little bit. I have like tiny little gaps right there. And just whatever's left on the brush, now you can kind of fill in the front and comb up, square off this bottom part, and then go up. Okay, most eyebrows are like slightly rounded or slightly squared off. They're not a perfect square, nor are they a perfect circle, okay? So we don't want any of that. Okay, and now with whatever's left on the brush, I'm going to fill in the direction that the hair is going. Okay, I don't want it to be too opaque. And I'm going to take a spoolie and just comb the product through. This is one of the most important steps. You have to get a spoolie. Otherwise, the product can kind of bunch up on the hairs in certain areas and it'll look really like blotchy. Okay, and I almost take off a little bit of product in the front just to kind of lighten it up even further. Okay, so look at the difference between this eyebrow and this eyebrow. It's the same shape, I'm just filling it in. Okay, and same thing. There's hair down here and then a big gap here and all the way through. Okay, so I'm going to connect that because I naturally did not have an arch there. My hair would go from here straight across. Okay, it might look a little bit unnatural if I do that now and I go all the way to where my hair used to be, but I'm going to try to connect this point and this point as much as I can. Okay, I don't want a big arch there because I don't have it naturally, and if I try to make one, I'll have to thin out my eyebrows even further. Okay, and then it will really look different than what I was born with. So starting in the center again, I'm going to connect this side, short strokes to this side, go back in, okay, So now I have connected it. So just outline it. Okay, now we have our outline down. I'm going on the bottom, I'm going to just elongate just a little bit. I lost a lot of hair right there. Which you tend to do if you sleep on your side. You're going to lose the tips of your eyebrows. So if you're wondering where they went, that's why. Okay, and I'm going to outline a little bit on the top. Not too perfect, just filling in a little bit because I have a little gap right there. And just rounding out this area right here. So I'm rounding that out. And now whatever's left on the brush, combing through. And kind of pulling from here up. Whatever's left, round out the front. Square off the front for my eyebrows. My eyebrows are naturally very square in the front. So I'm not going to exaggerate it, but I'm going to have more of a square shape versus a round shape. Okay? So just go with what you have naturally. Get out some old pictures. If you butchered your eyebrows like I did, get out some old pictures. Refer back to Mother Nature. It'll let you know how your eyebrows are supposed to look. I think I need a little bit right here. Eyebrows are on. So if you're wondering, well, how do I know where it's supposed to start? How do I know where it's supposed to end? This is just a kind of basic rule of thumb, okay? Again, you can do whatever you want to do, depending on what you want. But this is just my rule of thumb, okay? You don't want your eyebrow to start any further than the beginning of your eye, right there, okay? I naturally have very full brows where they connect all the way through. So if you have that type of eyebrow where they're really thick like that naturally, leave it big. If you want them to go in a little bit further, that's fine, okay? But if your eyebrow doesn't do that naturally, again, don't go in too deep, too far in, because it just doesn't look natural. It throws the rest of your face off, okay? So you want it to just start right there. You don't want it to start here, okay? Even if it starts like 1/8 of an inch back, that's enough for the whole face to look odd, okay? So you want to make sure that it starts right there, okay? And you don't want it to end too soon either, okay? So normally, right there, and then you can go on the side of your nose, and that's where it should end, right there, okay? Corner of the eye, side of the nose, right about there, that's where it should end. Anything further back is too much, okay? Side of the nose, right there, it should be right on the edge of your iris, right there. End of the iris, when you're looking straight, arch, side of the nose, end of the eye, end of the eyebrow, okay? So that's really just to give you an idea as to where to start drawing your eyebrows. There are eyebrow stencils out there that you can use to help you. You can find them at the drugstore, all kinds of stuff. But to me, like I said, the easiest thing is just pick up an old picture and try to recreate that. Try to just do that. Don't try to get another eyebrow shape that doesn't belong to you, because it will always look odd on your face. So that is it. That is my eyebrow tutorial for today, and I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, bye.